Thought I looked around, but maybe I missed something. Aha!
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others.
Is she hiding underneath the shack?
The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Whew. Sounds scary. Search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object.
Oh.
You pull it out. A bullet.
A bullet. Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Huh. Can we take a look at this bullet? That's not... What? Kind green ape pen? I don't even remember when I got this. A pen with a green ape head on one end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind of expression adorning its face. Oh, a kind expression adorning its face. Seems to be meditating. I guess we don't have the bullet. This is the other bullet, right?
The bullet is still safely sealed.
Okay. Found a bullet in the washerwoman's shack. Ask her about it. Let's do it.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
So, why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
She murmurs softly. I'm guessing you didn't put it there. Ruby did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
Oh, you rented the room to her.
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag. After a long silence, her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
Yeah, I mean, she's looking out for us, too. When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
Her wrinkled hand kneads a blue rag in the water.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
I'll just start from the top. You said she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No,
Okay. What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
She rubs her cold hands together.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
What do you mean? We worked her hard. She got her to sign that thing. She talked to you, talked to you much this time?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
Not that I'm proud of tricking her. What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back toward her shack, thinking. This really isn't adding up, is it?
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
But why would she, like, why not bury it someplace totally inconspicuous, like, just out in the middle of nowhere? It seems odd to me. I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit. Oh, to kill herself? So it's not a used. Sorry, for some reason I was thinking it's a used bullet, but it's an unspent bullet. It would have been a casing, right? Second thought, I'd rather not say. It's not something I want to think about. Let's ask her about it. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
This.
No, she's a fighter.
She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought. I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do.
Moving on. Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made.
She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
She's behind that fucking door that doesn't open, isn't she?
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
Further up the coast we go then. I almost feel like this is something... I feel like I explore really far ahead and then go back and let the story catch up. Because this seems like the reason why you go up the coast, right? Further up the coast we go then. You're right, this place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Wipe your brow. Man, I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village. Are you sure she didn't go somewhere more pleasant and less wet? Further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now.
The felled electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Huh. I had a few more questions about Ruby.
What more do you want to know about
Oh,
that
that's it,
woman?
okay.
Yes. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around. The air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
So is this when we can go up that ladder, I wonder? Let's go check it out. I think it was this way. There's the ladder.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light.
Could she be in there?
She? I don't know who you mean, but the building seems long abandoned to me.
You try to peer in, but there are no windows on this side. Only the disinterested whistle of the wind.
Hello again.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
Pats his son's head.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off.
I think this might be another situation where we need Kim. Now that we have this info. Looking for Ruby brought you to a mural that you somehow think is important. Inspect it thoroughly.
The once bright mural.
Huh. Okay, so I think we're going to come back with Kim. I want to go back to to that area around Lillian because I keep stopping short of like exploring past where she is, and I don't think we've been there yet. It does really feel like we're progressing the story well, though. The main case. Okay, so I did go up here. The only place I didn't go was down there. I see. So it was just this section that I had missed. Oh, there's someone here too.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around a post. Joyce is here. Okay.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detective.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
So, how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze toward the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks. Construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Yum.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name.
Okay.
All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Yeah, don't look at that. She squints her eyes. We just step in front of her gaze. She can't see the car.
All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Okay. You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. The place is doomed either way. Let's go with this is just how the real city looks. Don't worry, I got her sword.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the gray sky.
It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks. And swords. Tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the archetype McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded.
Ah.
Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches, flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up, her raincoat flaps in the gusts. This island?
No, they're in Celindian, Isola.
What is an Isola exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, I don't know how they discovered it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion, that's so me.
I knew you would sympathize.
She nods.
Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
She corrects the scarf around her neck. That's so interesting. Okay. Tell me now. I have time.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story, she will tell it only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit?
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
She pulls her hood closer around her neck.
The aim is to gain a deeper understanding.
By learning about the world, I hope to learn more about myself. It's related to the medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain. Just give me the lowdown. Let's go. Yeah, we want to learn more about ourselves. Let's go with that first one.
A sort of spiritual quest. Something of ancient Ilmaran origin.
There's more than a trace of irony in her voice. Yes, a spirit quest sounds like the thing I'm on.
Well then, reality is a strange place. Getting stranger by the day. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Oh, this is cool.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Okay, where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind. It's almost like a date, 881.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the Reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You were here as a teenager?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
Yeah, slumming it with boats. Okay. You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Oh, are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Okay. Huh.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered.
Huh.
The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest.
That's intriguing. Okay.
By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
But why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an unimportant place. Well, it's not... It sounds more like we're an important place. So we're pretty much at the center of the world.
Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor, light reflecting off their glass windows.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
22 kilometers is not far. Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
She watches you closely as you scan the horizon. Jamais vu. Derealization.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
What times are these? This is so like... It's so confusing, guys. But don't explain it. I like to be confused. It'll all come together at some point. Or it won't, and that's fine.
These are unimportant times, Detective.
It's her finger to her
You
lips
and I
that
were
points at
born
you.
after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. What's the big time?
The revolution.
Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists, the anarchists, shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle.
Yes. The Insulindian deluge, they call it.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew.
Was that the one that went on the crazy coke binge, or was that the king before?
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king.
Yes. King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down? Anyway, Gil got out alive and his nephew Frisell got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
She looks up to the sky, then inland at the crumbling village. Okay, and by liberals you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did the liberals win at all?
They didn't win so much as survive.
Huh.
We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
She's not a moralist. It's so complicated. Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
Okay, physical instrument. That was a little too intense. Calm down.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am. Not just technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard about these people. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not. I don't think I'm a moralist.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What's prion disease? Not familiar with that. What did this Zarath do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Oh. Oh, okay. Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious
Like,
microorganism
I'm
that
missing
destroyed
something here.
brain tissue. The actual causes
Oh,
of
damn.
the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
So it created scarcity because of the effect it had. Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
She spreads her arms, raincoat flapping in the wind. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie?
Is the idea that
Pair
they've kind of like
pants?
created this zone where it's just like chaos and people can exercise their ideologies, but in the outside world, everything is controlled? What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill.
Oh, cool.
Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
I love these interludes.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened to the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
So, like the one thing I'm not really sure about is is it intentionally kept like this in order to create a pocket of chaos so that the rest of the world can be peaceful? Or is it just this results from the way the rest of the world is? It's been like this for how long exactly?
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
Wait. We're 44 years old. Oh. The revolution had about 1 year left to go. It's like we were born just as the revolution ended. That's pretty cool.